Hello everybody. They've actually done it. So they've released 4 heroes today. So we have Holiday, Viper, Magnificent Sinclair, and Calico. In my previous video, in the Yoshi announcement, he misspelled Holiday with 2 L's, and a bunch of people were theory crafting like, oh, maybe they're going to drop Holiday on Friday, etc. And I personally didn't believe it because, I don't know, I just didn't think it was going to happen. And yet, here we are, 4 new heroes. So let's take a look at the descriptions, and then let's look in-game and see what we've got. Here they say expanding our roster is one of our major goals in 2025. While some of these characters have a much higher degree of temporary art than usual, we are excited to see how they perform on the battlefield. This is kind of what I was talking about in the previous video. I think it's great that they just throw them into the game, see what happens. I think everybody's going to be excited, even if like there's temporary art, even if there's balance issues, etc. So the 4 heroes that we have are Holiday. Most of you are probably familiar with her kit, but we'll look at her in-game afterwards. She's basically got like a lasso, and her ultimate revolves around like stealing people, if that's not been changed. Then we've got Viper, who slides around with infinite ammo, etc. Then we've got the Magnificent Sinclair, which is the magician. And then we've got finally Calico. So these were all Hero Labs heroes, so there's nothing new in here, but we'll see what they've changed in-game. So booting up the game here, we see that the heroes have been added and there's like a little new tag on them, so you can check them and check their abilities and look at them in game. Magician, it looks like pretty much hasn't received any art updates. However, he's received some ability updates, so we'll take a look at that real quick. And as far as Viper, most of the art pretty much hasn't been changed for Hero Labs. Some of the art ability has been changed for different abilities, so we'll just take a look in a second. But this is really exciting, and let's break down the heroes one by one. So first of all, we've got Calico, bit of a cat lady type of hero. So her first ability, Gloom Bombs, throw a cluster of bombs that detonate after a delay, dealing damage. So this is a new ability. I haven't played Hero Labs in a little bit, but when I played her, she did not have this ability at all. Instead, she like threw a cat. So this is new. It deals spirit damage. Enemies hit by multiple bombs take 50% damage. So if you hit one bomb, you do full damage. If you hit multiple bombs, they're not going to take as much damage from each individual bomb. Then we've got Leaping Slash. Dash forward before slashing all enemies in a circle, dealing light melee damage. If the ability hits at least one target, heal a small amount of health. So this looks like this. This is much cooler than the previous ability, which was basically like Yamato's grapple, but like on a specific target. It felt really, really wonky, so I'm hoping that this one will just feel like a lot better to use. And right off the bat, like using it in the, in the hero sandbox, it feels a lot better. Then we've got Ava. Turn to shadows and possess Ava. You gain movement speed, but become hidden on the minimap, but cannot cast or attack abilities. So this is like a ganking ability, right? You basically become a cat. This is kind of like similar to like Haze's invisibility, except you're really, really small, but you can still be seen. You just can't be seen on the minimap, right? So this is kind of nice. You gain a lot of movement speed, actually. You get 75% move speed bonus. So like, let's say that you just stack some move speed. Let me just get a bunch of things that are going to give me move speed. This is not like a ton, but already, right, you can see that you can move incredibly quickly with this. And I believe that if you have probably like sprint speed on top of that, you could probably go at a very, very fast pace. Let me just, yeah, as you can see, you can go like incredibly fast. Right now I'm going 24 meters per second as the cat, so this is going to be a really strong ability, most likely, with rotations. And then you've got Return to the Shadows. Instantly turn to shadows, becoming untargetable, gaining move speed and dealing damage. So here you kind of like, this is actually really cool, much cooler than her previous ultimate, I think. So you deal damage right away, and then when you return, you deal another burst of damage. So, and you gain move speed bonus, so a lot of move speed in her kit. So she'll be like very quick, and I'm really, really, really excited to play her. I think this character is going to fit like my playstyle really well. Let's move into Holiday. So first of all, she actually has a gun. She didn't have a gun previously, so her gun has like a little, unique art and stuff. As far as her abilities, Powdered Keg. So you can throw a barrel and then you can shoot it and it explodes. This barrel can also take the jump pad like this, right? And then you can shoot it in the air. Crack Shot deals bonus damage when you hit a headshot and applies a fading slow. So as you can see here, it basically slows them and when you hit a headshot. This is going to be like really strong in the laning stage. It's basically a headshot booster, but just like by default, and it does more damage. And then you've got the Spirit Lasso, which is you grab someone and then they kind of come with you. And this is basically, for those that play Dota, this is like Bat Rider Ultimate, right? So you can like put yourself a jump pad, grab someone. The difference is that now this is a skill shot, right? So it has like a much bigger range. Before it was like a targeted ability. Now it's like a 20 meter cast range. So you can kind of like get them from a distance and just like kidnap them, jump out away. So this is going to be like a really strong like pick type of hero, right? This hero is going to enable plays. It's going to be a bit like a Bebop or a Paradox. And I'm really interested to see how this plays out in the meta. Let's check out the other heroes. So we've got, I kind of want to call him a magician, but he's called the Magnificent Sinclair, which is a pretty long hero name. As far as his abilities, first ability is Vexing Bolt, which is a bolt that is basically, it's a nuke, and you can redirect it by pressing. So you can like cast it in the air, and then you press 1 again, it'll get redirected to where you're aiming. It's pretty much just straight up like a nuke. It has a fire rate slow, but other than that, there's not really much else to talk about. Spectral Assistant is a very interesting ability. So you put your Spectral Assistant down. If you shoot, I believe that it also mimics your shots. And I believe that it also mimics your abilities. And then you can swap places with the assistant, but only once, right? So you can swap places with it. So you've got a lot of like juke opportunities. Let's say that you can put an assistant, you can run away in this direction, kind of like a pocket cloak, right? And if someone chases you, well, you can always just threaten to go back to your assistant. So this hero is going to have a ton of juking potential. And then finally, you've got the Rabbit Hex. So you can hex someone. For people that have played MOBAs like Dota, this is pretty standard. While the person is hexed, they can't really like do anything, right? They take increased damage, they can't perform most actions, and they move faster. So they can escape a little bit, but you also get damage M from this ability. So this overall a very strong CC. I expect like Echo Shard with this is going to be pretty cancer, but we'll see. And then finally, audience participation, which is Rubik's ability from Dota 2. For those of you that know, if you know, you know. Copy the ultimate of an enemy hero for a limited time. Reactivating the ability will use the copied ultimate. So let's say that I see Infernus. I use my ultimate on him. I now have Infernus ultimate, which means that when I use it, I transform into the hero. I think this is sick. I'm really, really excited to see this play out in competitive games at a high level. I think this is going to be awesome. And this gives drafting so much more depth, because let's say that, you want to have someone that can, match like a Mirage all of a sudden. Mirage is no longer like that insane because, well, you can just copy Mirage's ultimate now and have it. So you can match him in the side lanes. And this is true for all sorts of abilities on ultimates. So I think this is really exciting and a really cool idea. Obviously, it's not like a super original idea, but I think it's quite good. And finally, we've got Viper. So Viper's got his one, which is you throw a little dagger, just does damage and movement slow, right? So you can like kind of chase people. This allows you to kind of catch them. They did add a unique sliding animation, so as you can see, you're kind of like slithering on the ground when you're sliding. This will be a little bit more obvious if I just add some slide distance items, right? So as you can see like this, I'm I'm just slithering. And with Viper, you can slide like uphill, right? Like this. So you can kind of do like the infinite sliding slither like this, which is kind of funny. Yeah. The second ability here is called Lethal Venom. Injects a target with lethal venom. After a delay, the venom triggers, dealing spirit damage. The damage is increased by the target's missing health. So, for example, this guy's missing a lot of health, and therefore it should do a lot of damage. So it does 163. So this is more effective against people that are, let's say below half health, generally speaking. Your 3 is a passive, which just gives you increased slide distance. You can slide uphill and you can turn faster while sliding. So you get like, you can do some pretty sick movement. I mean, this hero is going to be really annoying to kill. And then you've got Petrifying Bola, which throws an explosive bola. Let's just use that real quick. And the bola, petrifies in an AoE. Petrified heroes, they can't do anything. So this is going to be like really interesting for like mid-boss steals and things like that, where you just like petrify everyone and then steal the mid-boss with a heavy melee or things like that. Overall, I didn't mean this to be like an in-depth review of every hero's kit. I'm just really excited about the update and wanted to share the news with you guys. So let me know what you guys think about the new abilities. I think it's really sick, and I'm going to be streaming later today and, like exploring different heroes and seeing what we can do. But I'm really excited to test out these heroes. We're also going to be scrimming tonight. So if you guys want to see some high-level gameplay with new drafting strategy, etc., make sure to tune in tonight for the scrims. We're probably going to be scrimming around 7 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.